Instant karma for shoplifter. This instance I was working at big American electronics store and was the only time I've ever fallen for this crap in my 5 years of retail. It's a slow day and we had a call out in the gaming department, so I was doing rounds between there and my usual department. A gentleman flags me down and asks me to pull box 1 out of the case for him. Cool, no big deal. He holds his hand out so he can take it up to the front, and obviously according to store policy that's not going to happen. But customers don't always think, so I don't think much of it and walk him over to a nearby register. We're chatting as we walk up, and when we get to the register I set this box down on the counter so I can log into the POS. That's when I hear, "Shoplifter, sorry bruh, this ain't your day." I look up as he grabs this box and starts sprinting. At this point my mind is reeling, because I let that happen by setting expensive product down on the counter right in front of this ass. So, of course I do the stupidest thing possible, I chase him. I quickly explain the situation over the walkie-to app and tell her to call the cops, and I follow the guy, who's a good 100 foot ahead of me, round the corner behind the store, and I watch as he starts booking it down a bike trail behind the store. At that point, I stop, defeated, because no way am I going chasing him down the sketchy bike trail. But then a cop on a motorcycle whizzes up next to me, and I quickly point him in the right direction. I walk back into my store praying that this man gets his comeuppance. 5 minutes later, I'm greeted with the sight of the cop walking back and with his box, and the shoplifter cuffed in the back of a cop car. I casually walk outside and ask the cop what happened. Me, sweet. You got him. How'd that go? Cop, well, cop 1 caught up to him on the motorcycle and tackled him. He went down hard, but got up and started sprinting again. Me, so, how'd you get him? Cop, I showed up on the other side of the bike trail and tackled him. He went down hard again and ditched his box and ran the other way. Me, ha 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 ha. Cop, and then cop 1 tackled him a 3rd time and he just kind of gave up, and now he's here. At this point I walked up to the side of the car and locked eyes with the would-be shoplifter. Me, ha 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 ha, guess today isn't your day, is it? I high-five the cops involved. All that for a freaking box. Hope his record was worth it. I had to go to court to testify against a shoplifter when I used to work retail. Was very satisfying. Don't steal from my damn store. His suffering fueled me for months. People in that area know it's against store policy to do jack whenever someone steals something besides calling the, normally, apathetic cops. I just got lucky and there happened to be a couple in the area. One time I got to play Batman at a store I didn't work at, and he ran through extreme traffic and managed to frogger his way through unscathed. How could I forget? No means yes. The holidays can be stressful for everyone, either in the working field or on its own. Depending on your job, it can be a nightmare. This happened just the other day. With a very short staff of just 3 people for my workplace, I took my break by the skin of my teeth, after being on the register non-stop for about 6 or 7 hours straight without stopping. When I came back up to relieve my fellow coworker so she could leave, I noticed a woman at the front register and no employee in sight. Let's call her Karen for short. Me equals myself, K equals Karen, C equals customer. Me, hello. Are you ready to check out or need any help? K, no. She's already helping me, as the lady points to our photo center to my coworker who is on the computer. A few things went through my mind on why she could be down there, which is why I didn't press any further on the Karen. 1 point, there could been a problem with an item and she's checking our system for the solution. The computers in that lab are the only ones that give us access to other stores, our inventory, and many other functions the registers don't. 2 point, maybe the Karen had a photo order to pick up as well. Or even 3. She needed to see if another store had a specific item. It is Christmas time after all, and people are still searching for that perfect gift. I bid her a good evening and direct my attention. She was at our smaller register. The way I had first came in didn't show me the screen, so I figured in my coworker was helping her. She must be logged in and rung up the items on the counter. I walked behind the opposite counter and started ringing up the line of people that begin to walk up and start my shift again. The line goes on for a while. About 9 to 12 people later, I hadn't noticed the Karen was still standing there and that my coworker hadn't come back yet. I was too focused on helping the ones in front of me. So I guess that part is on me, but I did ask if she needed help and don't know where they were in the transaction. I didn't want to mess my coworker up. I need an item stocked for my drawer and call the manager to help. Line dims down, and as the last person walks away, the con marches up. K, are you just going to ignore me? Me, pardon? I'm sorry, but has she not come back? I lean back. Can't see the lab from any angle behind the register with all the displays. K, you just treated me like trash. Do you feel proud of yourself? Not only did you just ignore me, but you didn't even offer to bring my stuff over to your counter. I'm baffled. She cold hopped in line at any given moment and I really didn't know what happened to the other worker because I couldn't even see her. Me, I do apologize, ma'am. I thought you said the other worker was currently helping you. If there was an issue, I didn't want to make things more difficult and mess up anything. K, you're still treating me like garbage even now. The manager bring up the item I requested by now, questions with a look, and slowly walks away just in case I need him again. She's slamming box after box of cereal onto the counter, and I just silently ring them up, completely drained of social interaction by this point through the entire day. She's still ranting every step of the way. K, you need to help customers. If you aren't here to work, then you need to leave. Honestly, I've been standing there for half an hour, almost 10 minutes. And there's the sentence everyone groans at hearing. I roll. K, I want to speak to your manager. She hisses at me. So I call him back up. Lo and behold, the coworker that was supposedly helping her calls immediately, asking if she needs to come up there too, and if everything is alright. I tell her to just man photo and we can try to figure this out once the Karen leaves. The manager comes up and they begin talking, more like she's still yelling, and he's just quietly standing next to me. She then takes him to the end of the register, just out of earshot and view from me, because people still need to check out. Granted, I can hear the Karen talking, just not make out the words. As the first and only customer there comes up, she looks young and around my age, just grumbling. I thought, please don't be another one. I can't do two back to back. Me, hello. Did you find everything okay? Silence and more grumbling. I prepare for the worst again, but am surprisingly met with what I didn't expect. See, I'm sorry, she begins, still mumbling, but her voice gradually gets louder with each word until it's not quite shouting, but quite strong in tone. I hate people that think they are above everyone else and act like that in public. You did your job and that's all that can be asked. It's not your fault she doesn't know how to act in public. I'm speechless. It's quiet over by my manager and the Karen. It's quiet all around us. And this customer just became an angel in my mind for saying what I'm not allowed to. The Karen leaves immediately, stomping out while her boxes of cereal slap against each other roughly. The other customer leaves not shortly after. Both the manager and the coworker come up, one asking what in the world happened while the other is telling me to breathe. After talking for a moment, we figure out what had happened. The coworker was helping someone in the lab when Karen went up. Turns out, she hadn't been helped at all. But when the coworker saw me come up, she thought I would help her upon coming back, but got confused when a few minutes passed and she saw that the lady was still there. So there was just miscommunication on all accounts. Other than the Karen, the night was busy but smooth sailing. I live for calling out Karens at stores I don't work at. Same. Having worked in retail for so long, I absolutely love calling them out like this. It's like letting all the years of things I wasn't allowed to say just wash over the unsuspecting Karen. Great feeling.